This is the August Tackle Club Barra and Jacks box, so let's jump right in. Alright, starting off with the surface presentation as I always like to do, and then working my way a little bit deeper. To start off with, we have this floating fly half. Big Game Series walking popper. Now these come pre-rigged with heavy owner hooks already on them, so you're set to go right out of the box. But now you may ask, what is a walking popper? Well, it's like a walking lure, like a stick bait or a pencil bait, but it's also got a cut face on it like a popper. And I love these because that means as you're twitching it right up and down, winding this in, making this thing walk, it's also spitting out water every direction change that it goes through. Now, I love to add in pauses as well, so if you get a nice cast in up under some mangroves or an overhanging tree or near some lilies or something, give it a pause. And then I like to give a couple twitches into a pause again. I like to try and keep it near that structure as long as I can. If it's maybe a hotter day and the fish may not want to chase after it, doing this can actually entice them to come out from that structure and have a go. Now obviously if the fish are actually firing up a fair bit, sometimes working this faster can be the trick, and just go into a continuous, twitching retrieve as you work it. Can be phenomenal. Now, if you're not getting any success on the surface, you may want to jump over to this one from Berkeley. This is the Berkeley Pro Tech. Just like a long, slender minnow style hard body, pre-rigged with heavy trebles underneath it once again, so you're good to go out of the box. Now this is a deeper diver as well. Suspending, I've got the purple glimmer color here, and it's going to dive about 2.5 to 3 meters. So this is going to be perfect for just ripping down or twitching it down, pausing it into that structure, and just let it suspend there. So it's not going to float up or slowly sink down. It's going to just stay there where you leave it, in their face. And a lot of the time with these Barra and the Jacks, they may not want to eat it, but they'll want to kill it because it's in their territory. So by pausing it and letting it sit there in their face, often on the pause, you'll be surprised how often you actually get the hit. If you don't get any interest on the pause, then a couple twitches out of it into a slow to medium wind, and you're good to go and repeat that over again. Next up from Berkeley again as well, we have the Shimmer Big Reds. This is a soft plastic vibe lure, and it's pre-rigged with dual singles, so 2 single hooks underneath it rather than trebles. So the good thing about singles is it will do less damage to the fish if you're looking to release the fish afterwards. Not only that, but when they hook onto the single, they're less likely to throw that as opposed to trebles. You've got all that pressure on your rod and your drag going onto 1 point rather than 6 or 3, depending how many trebles or hooks they get in their mouth. So that's fantastic. Also a little bit more snag resistant, so you can start vibing this, vertically up along some dead timber that's in a dam or in a river. If you're fishing more like estuaries, saltwater, you can flick this up under some mangroves and do a quick burn out again. Obviously being a vibe, it is prone to snagging up still. That's where you may go over to one of the soft plastics that we've included here. We've got 3 different options in the box this month. First one from Z-Man, with the centered paddlers. We've got the Houdini color here. This is a 4-inch paddle tail plastic, and it is jointed as well, so you're going to get a nice wide tail action out of this on the retrieve, which is fantastic. If you need to go a little bit bigger, then you're going to jump up to the Demiki anchovy shad. Now these are a 6-inch, so you got 2 inches more of lure there as opposed to the Z-Man paddlers, and these have a much bigger paddle tail on them, so catching a lot more water, a lot wider action on the tail. These have a good body roll as well, and obviously just rig any of these soft plastics up with a jig head suited to where you're fishing. If you're fishing shallow, lighter jig head. Deep water, you can go a heavier jig head or whatever you like to fish. Sometimes I like to fish light jig heads in deep water and get that nice slow sink and work a treat as well. And then the last soft plastic is one of my favorites for Barra and Jacks. From Lunker City, we have the Shaker. So these here are a 4.5 inch, so in between the two. So you've got a 4-inch, 4.5 inch with this, and then 6-inch with your Demiki. So you've got 3 different size baits there to chop and change between. But these ones are sort of like a half cast between the two. The biggest paddle tail is on the Demiki. These have a slightly smaller paddle tail, but in conjunction with their body size, it does have a decent sized paddle. They have quite a high body as well, so you can fit some pretty big heavy duty hooks on these. Not only that, but they do swim really well weedless, like your Damikis and your centre paddlers as well. So you can mix and match between all of them, different jig heads, different hooks, different weights, different retrieves, and then you got the 3 different sizes with the 3 different soft plastics there. And that's it for the BARRA and Jacks box this month. If you want to check it out or any of the others in the range, just head to www.tackleclub.com.au. Pick a box that's right for you, and welcome to the club.